Barakatah how Barakatah Shah Barakatah how Barakatah Shah Barakatah how Barakatah Shah by Hashem Rakakadash. Um, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers out there laboring in this truth, teaching the pure doctrine of the Most High God. Right. This lesson this morning is going to go into you don't know the Father. Mass death is coming to this earth, right? And it's been on my spirit when I woke up, you know, to do this lesson, man, because people are going about their everyday life like ain't shit's gonna happen, but Most High God said it's gonna happen. So guess what? It's gonna happen, man. It's just that simple. And let's go into a couple of scriptures, right? Because people believe that they're that the Most High God is all love, and they believe that they really believe that He's not gonna kill everybody like He did the first time with Salakia when He saved Noah, right? Noah and his sons and their wives and Noah's wife, right? This is the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 6. Yahweh shall saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me, right? No man comes to the Father but through Yahweh shall, right? So Yahweh shall give you understanding to understand these scriptures. He also give you understanding to know who He is and who the Father is, right? If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him, right? So we know the Heavenly Father through Yahweh shall reveal himself in these scriptures, right? The Most High God is a man of war, man. He's not playing. And people don't realize the the death he has put on these other nations and on his chosen people, man, for being disobedient. Now imagine the Most High God putting his chosen in such a hard captivity. What do you think he's going to do with these other nations, man? When his wrath is finally kindled against them, and their sins have reached up to heaven, what do you think he's going to do, man? The Most High God is a man of war, right? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name, right? So the Most High God is a man of war, man. He's not playing with our people, and 2/3 of our people don't understand that still to this day, man. They believe that God is our love. Hey, I seen the story the brothers been putting up about the woman who jumped down on the damn train tracks to pick up a damn phone. How smart was that? That was pretty smart, but that was the Most High God sending judgment out to that person, right? Why? Because they were a wicked ass people, man. A wicked ass woman, man. She was haughty. She had all these damn Instagram pictures, Facebook pictures of herself. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you think that is something that's supposed to be naturally done, right? So this woman had thousands of selfies, and she lived in that phone. She lived deliciously, right? But our people don't know the Most High God. The Most High God is not playing with us, man. He's about to send mass death on this earth, right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. The Most High God do all these things, man. You understand, man. Anything good comes from the Most High. Anything bad also comes from the Most High. And that's what balance. And matter of fact, let's get that. Because the Most High God, He loves balance, man. He said a false balance is abomination, right? This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Most High, but a just weight is his delight, right? A just weight is his delight. But a false balance is abomination. You gotta have balance in this truth, man, right? But we, me, myself, I do not understand the Most High. You know what I'm saying? When I was in these Christian churches, man, I didn't understand how he kills and he makes alive, man. I thought it was a damn devil, man. I thought it was a fiery hell under the ground that you would go to. That's what I thought, man. I was truly blinded, man. And I heard the word of salvation and uh, went and started studying and reading for myself. And the Most High God sent His Son to sup with me to give me understanding. And you know, and it's been off and running since then. And the brothers at Great Millstone, man, with any other group, I have not seen any other group, you know what I'm saying, diligently studying the word of the Most High God and putting in the work as far as videos, uh, street teaching, sit downs, trying to make their calling and election short. Uh, I, I asked Most High to put the spirit on me to go harder for the truth. I really didn't realize that you know, supping with you, he would cause you to want to wake up at 4 in the morning and do a video. But all praise to the Most High God, because once He put it in your spirit to do something, man, it's like a fire. But enough of that rambling. Let's get back into the lesson. So our people don't realize that the Most High God is going to do a lot of killing in these last days, right? I mean, a lot. This is the book of First Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 6. The Most High killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up, right? The Most High maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up, right? He raiseth up the poor out of the dust. Who is the poor? The Israelites. We are the poor right now in this society, but He's raising us up out of this dust, right? He, and He lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes, right? He's going to set us among princes. Yasha'Allah mean what? The prince of the power, right? And to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Most High's, and He hath set up the world upon them, right? Keep that in mind, man. The Most High God created everything, man. Even evil, man. Right? Let me get that. I think I got it queued up. Yeah. Salakia. Now let me get it. The Most High God has created everything, man. Through His Son Yahushua, right? All right. Come. The Most High have made all things for Himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, right? Even the wicked for the day of evil. Check this out. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination unto the Most High. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. So what? The proud in heart in your mind is abomination to the Most High. He's not dealing with no pride, man. He's dealing with a person with a meek spirit, man. You gotta understand that you have to be humble enough to come back to the Most High God in the first place. And guess what? You had to be chosen too. It wasn't that you all of a sudden woke up, oh, I'm an Israelite. Oh, I know what to do now, man. You had to hear the word of salvation because you was meant to hear that word of salvation. And it had to be planted on what? A good ground. You know what I'm saying? For you to get that good root to where you have your house built on what? That cornerstone was your house, that rock, that solid rock. If he wasn't supping with you or you weren't one of those predestined spirits to receive that type of salvation, man, guess what? The Most High God, didn't even want you. He probably had you in this thing for a season, man. Let's continue to read down. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and the fear of Yahweh, men, Shalak, by the fear of Yahweh, men depart from evil, right? And that's another thing. Our people don't have fear and reverence of the Most High God. You ought to have fear and reverence to know He could take your ass out any day, whenever He wanted to. You ought to have fear and reverence to the Most High God to know that He could take that understanding from you at any day, man. Matter of fact, let me get this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 5. Remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, right? Or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. You got to repent and do the first works, man. Or else he going to take that understanding away from you. This is what Yahweh Shai will do, man. That's why you don't know Yahweh and you don't know Yahweh Shai. He's terrible, man. To the ones who what don't do His will, man. What scriptures say? His love is toward the ones who follow His commandments, right? I think I got that. I'll find it in a second. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. This is the matter by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever He will, and set up over it the bases of men, right? And this time He was talking about Nebuchadnezzar, but all these other nations are base men, all of them. The Most High God sets up the bases of men. Esau is a base man, right? Job said he wouldn't have him to lay with his dogs, man. Understand that this country has straight up pedophilia laws, man, where it's like straight up bestiality laws and pedophilia coming, but straight up bestiality laws where you can sleep with animals, man. You got brothels over there in Europe, man, where they sleeping with goats, man. This is a base man, right? Verse 35. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven, and the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand, or say unto him, what doest thou, right? None can stay the Most High God's hand, man. You can't ask him, why are you doing this? You can't ask him anything regarding that. Why? Because he is the Most High God, right? It's the book of First Kings, chapter 22 and verse 22. Because you don't know the Most High God, man. You think God is all love. You really do. You think that God is gonna like that story, man. This girl had posted God's blessing, uh some sort of that He comes right on time. But guess what? Blessings and curses come all from the Most High God. The children of Israel have experienced both. As a matter of fact, let me get that before I get to this in First Kings. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which all come from Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where the Most High shall like it what Yahweh by Shem Yahushai have driven thee, right? And shalt return unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So you have certain people asking, why did the Most High God put us in slavery? Why did He do? Because we hard headed and stiff necked. That's why. We were rebellious ass people, man. You got people right now murmuring and scoffing on video, man, as they did back then in Egypt, man. They was murmuring and scoffing against who? Moses. So all these miracles was brought out with a mighty hand by Yahweh by Shemal Shai. That death angel was Yahweh Shai. So you got to understand, man, you don't know the Most High, man, and mass death and killing is going to come upon this earth, right? Yeah, the little girl who got dropped, all those stories on that boat, you know what I'm saying, where that Edomite family was on vacation. Guess what? That was the Most High God. He basically sent the old death angel to nudge that little girl out that damn grandfather arm, right? Understand that, man. You don't know the Most High God. That brother who got shot in New York, guess what? The Most High God said, and you got to dwell with wisdom. He said, in the way, uh, agree with your oppressor or your adversaries, lest he take your life. And I'm paraphrasing some of that lines of the fake. He said, don't uh in the way, don't buck up to the point where you think, even if you are right, man, you don't have the power right now. The power is not in your hand. And they shot him twice, man. Dude was like, why did you do that, my man? But you could have pulled out a taser and tasered the shit out of that dude. But still, that was judgment of the Most High God, man. Because that dude did not dwell in wisdom. That's the precept. He said he loves all those that dwell with wisdom, right? Let's see if people are not, is it 29 and 6? Let me see. Salakia, maybe 27 and 6. Let me see. Salakia, nope. I'm gonna get that precept though. But that guy did not dwell with any wisdom at all. He ain't dwell with no wisdom. He was blatantly trying to tell them folks, even that was your car, man, that you could have very easily let them do whatever the hell they were gonna do. You would be here to this day, right? You would be here to this day. But you you want to cause a scene, resist, kind of says agree with your adversary in the way. That's the phrase. You got to agree with your adversary in the way, unless he take away your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure it says that last part, but that's what happened. Let me see if I get this precept. Loveth those that dwell with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah, let me see. Let's see. I thought it was in Ecclesiastes. It might have not been. Wisdom of Solomon, 11 and 24. Let's see. It says, nope, that ain't it. It's definitely in Ecclesiastes. If I remember it, I'll put it in the description box. But going on, our people don't know the Most High God. Mass death and killing is going to happen on this earth. And check out this story right here of the Most High God trying to have Ahab killed, man. This is the Most High God right here, man. Check this out. Let me start up at verse 20. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said, matter of fact, let me read up verse 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. And I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So you had his evil angels on one hand, and you had his good angels on his right hand, right? Or he had a conference basically, a powwow. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. And therefore, Shalaki, and there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? Now you gotta understand, the Most High God already knew what was gonna go down because he put it in his will to go down. But the Most High God, he's the master screen director, man. He deals with drama, man. That's who he is, and you won't know that unless Yahweh shall reveal that to you, right? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so, right? Now, therefore, behold, Yahweh have put a lying spirit in the mouth of all thy prophets, and the Most High have spoken evil concerning thee. Man, understand that, man. All issues of death and life come from Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. You don't know the Most High God, but you finna certainly find out who he is in these last days, man. As people have woke up to who they are, just like we just read in Deuteronomy 30, where it will come to pass that we're going to remember the blessing and the curse, right? And check this out. We jump down to verse 7. I'm going to just continue to read. Verse 3, that then Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations. Man, that's your all nations, man. That's your all nations that you read about in the New Testament, man. The so-called New Testament. Because it's all one book. And whether the Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua have scattered thee, and if any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. Right? You remember, you read in Revelations, out of a innumerable multitude, out of every kindred, nations, and tongues, right? And Yahweh Bashem Abishai will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh Shlaka, and Yahweh Bashem Abishai will circumcise thine heart, your mind. You're gonna circumcise thy mind, right? And the mind shall like a heart of thy seed to love Yahweh Bashem Yahushua with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live, right? And that precept of that is Jeremiah 31 and 31, Hebrews 8 and 8, where he's going to give us what? A new heart, to the point where the laws are going to be inside us. He's going to pre-program us to keep the laws. And this is the point. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will put all these curses upon thine enemies and upon them that hate thee, that persecuted thee, right? This is when he's going to do this. After we acknowledge our offense, say we were wrong, and come back to the Most High God, right? This is when he's going to turn back our captivity. But you don't know that. You don't know the Most High God. Because why? You lost in the sauce. Yahweh hasn't supped with you. You think God is all love, right? But mass death and killing is going to come to this earth, man. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. This second epistle letter, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, right? Says that the Comforter is going to teach us all things. The Comforter is this Bible, man. It teaches us all things. What was written aforetime was written for our learning and knowledge, that through comfort of the scriptures we might have hope, right? Paraphrase. That ye may be mindful of the words which are spoken before by the holy prophets, and the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, knowing this first, there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. Wasn't that woman walking after her own lust when she jumped down to grab that damn phone and got splattered by that damn train? Man, that shit crazy. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust, right? You got scoffers out there on the highways and byways. You got scoffers that come on these channels, man, and post this so-called fake Christian doctrine, man, and they walking after their own lust, man. You got scoffers on the live chat, man, on the live feeds, man, where they coming with foolishness. If you don't believe in this, why are you coming with foolishness? Why? Because the Most High God said this, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. They're walking after their own lust, man. The Most High God set them up to be the scoffer, so they could see this and get judged. Understand that. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? Yeah, man, they say this and that. Man, y'all Israelites been out there 50 years, man. When is gonna come? Well, guess what? Though it tarry, wait for it, man. Says the vision is yet for an appointed time, man. Guess what? It's gonna happen, man. And when you catch that hot missile to the face, when you getting your head chopped out by them FEMA camps, when they declare martial law and they kick it in your damn door, then you gonna understand then, right? It says, saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation, right? For this they are willingly ignorant of the word of Yahweh, the heavens of old, and the earth standing out of the water in the water, right? Who is the word of Yahweh? Yahweh Shai, right? John 1 and 1. He created all things through Yahweh Shai, right? It says, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water in the water, right? Whereby the world that was then being overflowed with water perished, first death. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men, right? Reserved to fire. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Most High is like it. One day is with the Most High as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day, right? The Most High is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. Like they really don't think this gonna happen, man. But is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Yeah, all of the Israelites should come to repentance, right? But we know all Israel ain't Israel, and 2/3 got to be put away. Why? Because they degenerate as beasts, walking after the ways and customs of the base men. That's why they wanna make it in this life, man. Yeah, man. I hate this world. I hate having to wake up and go to work. I'm grateful for the job to support my family. In other words, use the world, don't abuse it. But I'm ready to get the hell out of here, man. Right? But the day of the Lord, Shalaka, but the day of the Most High will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up, right? A lot of mass death and killing is going to come to this world, man. Don't come to this earth. This heaven this rulership, governments, it's gonna pass away with a great noise. Boom! You know what I'm saying? That loud thermonuclear blast, man. And it's gonna catch you off guard, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna continue reading. Let me get that. Seeing then that these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting. See, we looking for and we hasting. We trying to haste this thing. We trying to make it come faster every day. That's why you see brothers laboring as hard as they are, because we know we're at the end. Why? Because we measuring the time diligently. We looking at the prophecies. We seeing things be fulfilled. So what? We looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. What's hot enough to melt the elements with fervent heat? Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwell righteousness. Now, the time of refreshing is almost here. So we're looking for the refreshing of a new earth, man, to where we don't have to deal with all this damn GMO food. The animals won't have to deal with all this smog and pesticides and chemtrails being spread in the damn ozone, right? That's what we're looking for. But you see, water is a cleansing agent, and fire is also a cleansing agent. Esau done such a great job on his watch of the earth as far as destroying it, that the Most High has got to cleanse it with fire. He just can't cleanse it with water. He got to cleanse it with fire now, right? It says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. That's why we doing this, man. So we can be found without spot and blameless, right? It says, and account that the long suffering of our Father, Yahweh, is salvation, even as our beloved Paul also according to the wisdom given unto him have written unto you, right? So let's I don't want it. It was Luke 18:26. Yahushua is gonna come as a thief in the night, right? Let's see, is this what I want? No, that ain't it, but that's still a good verse. This is Luke 19:27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. That's Yahushua speaking, man. And you don't believe me? What's this? That's Yahushua speaking. You don't know Yahweh. You don't know Yahushua. Mass death is going to come on this earth. Let me see if I get what I want. You don't know the Most High God, man. Let me see. Yeah, let's get this. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Most High shall come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, right? You ain't gonna escape this. So what you do, man? You get away from the FEMA camp and run into a pack of wild dogs. Get away from the pack of wild dogs, you jump in the house, and there's a damn snake waiting on your ass, ready to take you out, man, right? Let's see what I want. Let's see. Uh, nope. But I'm in it on this though. So like it. There it is. Continue to read. Says this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 36. But of that day and hour know of no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only, like a thief in the night, right? Man, I remember when I first came into this truth, this guy, I watched a video of this guy said he had a dream. And he dreamed that he was taken up to the third heaven. And when he looked down, he seen the whole earth on fire, and it looked like it was glass. You know, that's the same vision that John had in Revelations. And he said that when he was looking down, he seen looked like the earth was on fire. And he had looked up, and it's like Yahushua was in a sprinter stance. He was ready to go, man. He ready to go, man. He just waiting for his father to say, "Go get my elect." Right? That's what he waiting on. He's on the sprinter stance right now. Verse 20, like verse 36. But of that day and hour know of no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For in those days they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and they knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So also so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? Like a thief in the night. Boom. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, watch, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. But know this, that if the goodman of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. You wouldn't have suffered your body to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also, Shalaki. Therefore, be ye also ready. For in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh, right? You'll be out here suffering, you know what I'm saying? Um, Thinking that, oh man, I got time. I ain't got to go do the work, man. I don't know when he coming back, man. Guess what? You draw back your hand from that plow, man. He ain't got no pleasure in you, right? It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord have made ruler over his household to give him meat in due season, right? Yeah, we join heirs with Yahushua if we endure to the end, right? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods, right? But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, in his mind, my Lord delayeth his coming, then shall begin to smite his fellow servants, become a scoffer, say, oh, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. This was my Hebrew Israelite phase. No, nigga. This ain't no phase, nigga. This your heritage, nigga. But if you deny your heritage, guess what? You deny Yahweh. You deny Yahweh, and guess what? He has no pleasure in you. He gonna put your ass to death and to eat and drink with the drunken. And the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Man, you don't know Yahweh, you don't know Yahushua. A lot of death is coming to this earth. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers out there laboring in this truth. Sincere brothers, man. And with that, I'm going to give a hearty shalom. And Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, we come back to you with another lesson. Till next time I say, shalom.